Welcome. This is Leicester Fan TV. My name is Phil, and we thought we would do a bit of a live Leicester Fan TV chat special. I've got all the guys waiting in the wings, all the guys who bring you lots of content. We've got Jamie from the Fox's Arms. He'll be in with us shortly. He does his Fox's Aftermath show every Sunday. James, who does the Kit Room every Sunday night, is waiting as well. So is our good pal and friend Tom Hoger, who joins us every Monday in the Fan Zone show. We have also got Anthony for LCFC Boyer from YouTube, and we do have as well Ross Howard, who was at the match himself last night. So get your views in and get your comments in. I want to know what you think, what you want to say about Leicester City. This is a special edition of the Fan Zone show. Yes, indeed, we can get everybody's comments on screen. So we will be hearing from all the content team as they get in here. But just like we normally do, Yogs75 is watching on Periscope, because yes, we are live on Periscope, Twitter, Facebook and YouTube in today's show. Yogs75 says, last night was a bit of a mare. It certainly was. Neil says, okay, we've lost a few games that we thought we could win, but just don't forget, no one is giving us a hiding. Yeah, well, it was quite pleasing, Neil, that Norwich at the bottom of the league didn't give us a hiding. I think you're pulling small mercies there from that game. We've just been unlucky on so many occasions, and VAR has added to our woes. Listen, we can all talk about VAR. I'm sure, no doubt, it is going to come up today a little bit. But we, as a content team, don't want to focus too much on VAR too much, because we want to talk a bit like Maxine is saying here. We want to talk about Leicester City's form since Norwich came to the King Power Stadium and looked like they'd sussed us out in that 1-1 draw. And since then, I think I agree with things like Maxine. We are nose diving off a cliff, Maxine says. Realistically, the form we had pre-Christmas was not sustainable, but we should at least now show some fight. Did we show any fight last night? That is one of the things we want to do. We want to get your views in, your comments. Leicester Fan TV is by fans, for fans, and we want your views. Get your comments in. Let us know what you think of. Here are the big questions I want to go through today with everybody. First question, what is going on at Leicester? Big question. Vardy, what is going on with Jamie Vardy? He is well off the boil. Was he injured last night? How did that happen? Bit of a shocker. Next question to you all I want comments on is leaders on the pitch. Where are the leaders on the pitch? A lot of talk of James Maddison, Jack Grealish, who's better, this and that. I don't want to debate who's better out of those two, but I tell you what Jack Grealish certainly does bring to Aston Villa is some leadership on the pitch and some real bottle when it comes to wanting to get them going. So big topic there. January transfer window. Did we make mistakes in the January transfer window, sitting in the top four? Was it the time to capitalise and try and bring in some real added quality? Last night, we needed a striker to come off the bench and win us a game. We didn't have a striker on the bench. We got Jamie Vardy injured. We got Inacho. Didn't have too bad a game, but we had nobody on the bench as a striker. How can a team be challenging for the top four and not have a striker on the bench ready to come on in a game? I don't know. We bought one person in January and it was a loan. It was for a centre-back. It was for Ryan Bennett. We've not seen him. We've got Christian Fuchs coming as a third centre-back last week. Seems strange. I want to ask questions about that. And finally, question for everybody to think about here. Feels like we're having a mini meltdown because we are. No plan B. Passing it around at the back. I don't know if that's the same topic. I don't know if that's two topics, but it's two things that get me absolutely infuriated when we are losing 1-0 away at Norwich, when we are losing 1-0 at home to Man City. We just keep passing it around the back. You get your views in. I've set those topics. If you want to add topics to it, you go for it. You let me know what you think. I'm going to bring the guys in very shortly. Just a few fans' comments before we get into Jamie from the Fox's Arms. Nick Morris says, agree, we lack the passion. We know we have it. Kevin says, should have brought a striker in January. Should have brought a striker, Kevin, in in August last season. We were saying this. The lads look like they're on the beach already. The quicker they realise there's hard work still to do, the better, says Lee. I think that's interesting. Phil Creed is saying we are desperate for a striker. It's not going to happen now. Can't go out and get one. Believe we can't bring Soleimani back, much that probably most of you wouldn't want to bring it. Somebody on the Facebook group is saying, big mistake not buying a striker in the transfer window. Brian is saying, Vardy injured, question mark. I agree. Vardy injured. We can only assume he was. Bit of a shock that came out. Andy Meadow says, too many players guaranteed to start no matter how bad they play. Brendan needs to start throwing the hairdryer around in the dressing room. A question I could add to that is, who is in charge? Let's bring in Jamie from the Fox's Arms. Jamie?
Hello, how the devil are you, Phil? How's it going?
What have been better, Jamie? I know, listen,
I have.
the cup is half full. We are still third in the Premier League, but you have to look at the form and what's going on, Jamie. Tell us your views.
Well, what I think it is, when we played Norwich, didn't we? And we drew 1-1 with them at the King Power. There was big talk of, title challenge this, title challenge that, if we do this, if we do that. And it was all about the title and nothing else. And since we started talking about the title, then we played against Liverpool and Man City, and it gave us a bit of a wake-up call, but getting beat by both of them. And I think that's where it's gone wrong. I think it's just got to them. And I don't know, it's just like the players have had their heads turned by it. Whether something's gone on in the background, there's rumours about Rodgers wanting to talk to Arsenal, and he wasn't let talk. I don't know whether something's gone on, the players are not playing for him, but I very much doubt it. I just think it's confidence. And that bit before the Norwich game, when there was big title, we're only 4 or 5 points behind Liverpool, and it was like title challenge for this and cup win for that. I think it's just got to him. I think they've just got a bit too big for the boots, I think. And it's just, the confidence has just gone from 100% to 0 in about 2 months.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to bring Tom in as well. Good evening, Tom, or good morning, Tom, whatever it is. Lost track of the day today. Jamie's already on the pop. What do you say to last night, Tom?
Oh, what can you say? I didn't think the first half was too bad. We created good chances. But look, I know we're not going to talk about VAR, but it was a turning point. From that point onwards, that goal being disallowed, our heads completely went. You know, I felt the first half we were sloppy in possession. I'm going to pick a man out today. I don't normally pick lads out for playing poor, but my God, Chilwell. I'm not one for, I want to back the lads, a young lad who wants to do well, but at the moment, his touch, his execution, his on-the-ball movement, he doesn't want the ball at his feet. He was scared when anyone's coming running towards him. It is not a good sign. But in my view, Brendan's got a lot of answers to. Why change the shape again? You saw it work quite well, this 3-5-2. People, like I think you said earlier, Phil, people have worked out since that Norwich game that presses high, make our own mistakes, and you'll get a chance. So change it. 3-5-2 against Man City, we didn't look that bad. I mean, people saying we didn't create enough opportunities, but for me, we didn't. We're playing a very good team. We should have gone to Norwich with the same attitude, desire, and hunger. I didn't see that yesterday. I didn't see any hunger, desire to win that football match. The only player for me who can come out with any credit yesterday was Dennis Pratt. From start to finish, he's the only one who was going in for challenges, only one who was looking for the passes, the only one who was making sure the tackles were getting in there and blocked. And Diddy came in and won the ball back twice. That says how quickly the game changed.
Tom, if Dennis Pratt, which I agree was probably our best player last night, why did he then get subbed?
Again, is it tiredness? I mean, if that's
I'm not having that, Tom. I'm not having Premier League players tired. They've just had a winter break. I'm not having it.
All I could think of, you're 1-0 down. He's trying to, Dennis isn't really a creative midfielder.
I mean, the subs, Tom, somebody's put in there the subs last night. I was scratching my head at the subs. Hamza for Ndidi.
I understand that one. I didn't think Chowdhury did enough last night at all to deserve his place back in the team.
And then the final 2 subs, though, Tom?
He's trying to mix it up a bit. I mean, not being funny, but Perez had done nothing all game. He had a couple of silky touches in the box, but he's, for me in the first half, he has to do better than a P roll of a shot across the floor into the goalie's arms. He's got to be putting that into the bottom corner. He has to be doing more than that in that opportunity. He didn't, in theory, he nearly cost us a goal in the first half when he, for moments of madness, passed the ball straight across the penalty box. Rule 1 of football, you don't pass across your own box when you're defending. He's just the Albright one again, mate. I love Mark Albright.
Yeah, I do. I just don't think he's going to come on and win you a game, and he's going to cross the ball into who?
Exactly. There's no point putting Albrighton on when you haven't got Slimani on. And how many times we were crying out when Slimani was here and he would take off Albrighton on and bring on Slimani. It doesn't make sense at the moment. And like I say, we are missing a plan B. Simple as that. There was time last night you were looking for the last 10 minutes. Put Morgan at the back and change it up. Put Sancho up front if you had to.
I'd have put Wes Morgan up front. I'd give him 10 minutes up front. We've done it before. Wes Morgan has played up front for 5 or 10 minutes. And that would have at least said to Leicester City fans who were there, I'm going to bring Ross in now. Ross, are you ready to come in? Ross was there last night. Surely, let's bring him in. Ross, hello.
Hello, Ron.
Go on. You were there last night. With 10 minutes to go, what would you have done differently to Brendan Rodgers to try and say, we're going to try and get something out of this game?
I think you said it yourself. Bring Wes Morgan in up front. I think put him up front. We used to do it back in the day with Matt Elliott. He used to be up. I remember one game he went up for the entire game. So I don't see why not. We should have done. I think we should have brought on Gray last night.
Yes, I agree.
With pace, because he wants to prove a point. My dad was saying on the way back on the coach, he was saying that he's got the pace and stuff. He's got the skills. Why not go? Why not bring him on for the last 15 minutes of the game? When we went 1-0 down, they should have done it straight away in regards to it. I mean, Perez didn't have the best of games. I agree with what you said earlier about Pratt. I thought he was probably our best player last night. And Chilwell, what was he doing? It was like he was running and just stopping, and then passing back. And then in the last minute as well, when Norwich outsmarted us, when they threw it over, and they nearly scored from it in the last minute. But it was just, I think they should have brought Gray on last night. And Morgan, they should have brought Morgan on. Put him up front because he's really tall. Really tall. He's strong in the air. Could have done it, and I think we should have done that last night. It was just nothing there, and I think it didn't help with the disallowed goal. Didn't help at all. But I think we first 5 minutes as before we scored, I thought we played well in the first 45th minute to the 50th. As soon as that got disallowed, it suddenly just dropped again. I mean, it was a very poor performance. And I think you put it down to form. I think you put it down to Ndidi out the side as well. He's a very big key, and it's like I said on the coach last night. I said when Ndidi's in the side, we're a very really good team. But when Ndidi's not in the side, we're like an average team. It's like he's a missing spot. Like what happened used to happen when Muzzy Izzet. When Muzzy Izzet was in the squad, when he was in there, we were brilliant. When he wasn't in there, we wasn't very good. So I think we are missing Ndidi a lot, and it doesn't help that all the kickoffs as well. None of them are hardly a 3 o'clock kickoffs as well. That could be a key factor.
I think Ross, I hear what you're saying. I feel that trying to blame kickoff times, everybody has to deal with it. We're trying to be a top 4 side. We've just got to get on with it. Substitutions was definitely something to talk about. I'm going to bring James in from the kit room now. James, thanks for joining us, and Anthony as well. Did we mess up in the January transfer window, James? Do you feel, or not?
So for 12 months now, we've needed a winger. Everyone knows it. It's clear. Every single game, it's clear we haven't got. We keep going with Perez, who's a striker. He looks lost out on the wing. Every time someone goes near him, he runs away from the ball. He's very light touch. For me, we need a winger. In the kit room show this week, we talk about this around. Why don't we just put Justin at right back and put Ricardo on that wing? That's what he does year in, year out for every team he's played for. Stick him on that wing and get him to whip some balls in. Surely that's the answer that we've got.
Yeah, I mean, you say Perez is a striker. It's interesting, isn't it? People say, is Perez a striker? Is he a winger? We probably could have done with a second striker or somebody to go up front instead of Iheanacho for the last 10 minutes. And again, it wasn't Perez. We had nobody on the bench. Anthony, you watched it last night. Give us your views on the state of Leicester at the moment. Or not. Are you there, Anthony? He's fast asleep, bless him. No, he's not. I don't know if he's listening or not.
Well,
here we go.
I'm getting a little bit fed up of hearing. Can you hear me?
Yes, fire away.
I don't know if you can. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit fed up of we're third in the league and stuff. We've won one game in 7. And being very quickly turned into about 7th or 8th if you look how tight it is. So, like, we drew with us at the KP and we just look completely lack confidence. So, for me, perfect time to, and like all of our top 4 riders
Anthony, I'm gonna cut Anthony off there a little bit. Anthony, sorry, your connection is really poor. I don't know, mate, what's going on today. I'm going to have to take Anthony out a little bit. Tom, let's come back to you. Anthony was starting to say there, Tom, about the fact that we are third in the league. A lot of fans are saying this. We're third in the league. You can't grumble. But, Tom, we're not going to stay third in the league if this carries on, are we?
Oh, no. I said it last night after the game. That performance was a team who got to the 40-point mark and packing the bags ready for the summer holiday and job done staying in the league for another season. For me, that was that kind of performance. When you're third in the league, you've had a terrific season. What it has, we can't grumble because it has been terrific, but the lads have got themselves to blame by setting such high standards. The fans are now on top of those high standards. And if you want to be a top four club, you've got to produce those performances week in, week out against everybody. And at the moment, we haven't seen that since the Norwich game. The two defeats to Man City and Liverpool were confidence knockers massively. And I think it really did. If I'm honest, like a boxing mat, it took us stuffing out of us and it's really knocked us back to the ground with a bang. Couple of good wins over Newcastle and West Ham, but again, they're fighting their own battles and we still got wins. But I can't name that many good performances since Norwich to say, yeah, we look like a solid top four club. And you could say that's down to the depth in the squad. If you're honest, you looked last night at the bench. Was there any game changer on that bench? You thought at 1-0 they can come on and win the game from you? For me,
no,
not really. No. And that has to come down to the recruitment side of things. We can say we didn't sign anyone in January, but again, we all know the January transfer is difficult because people are going to put the price up on any player you go for. I'm just looking at the Palace game now, and they've just literally brought on the Everton striker, Tunchu. I mean, if you want a striker just to put on the bench, there was an option there. He can win headers. He can do a job. The other option was Slimani's out on loan. But we all know Rodgers, he sticks to plan A. He will not change to a plan B in the style he plays. It will always be passy. He did it at Liverpool and he got stick for it. And he's going to do it with us and he'll get stick for it if he continues. Look, you can't jump on his back because he's done brilliantly in his first year in charge of his football club. But when you hit those standards, what he did for those first 17 games and the team did, fans' expectations starts to grow very quickly. And now things aren't going our way. And if we continue to slip, like at the moment, I see it happening out of the Champions League spaces and we finish 6th or 7th, people say it's been a very poor season. What will be sad at the end of the day?
Sab says, guys, the gloom mongering needs a reality check. Our poor form is linked with the Wilf injury. Ross, what do you think to that comment?
So the gloom mongering needs a reality check. Yeah, it kind of is with Wilf's injury. It's like, against Burnley. When we played Burnley, it showed that we were missing him completely. We went 1-0 up, and obviously and then we dropped as soon as they scored that goal. Our edge just dropped. As well, obviously, with the West Ham game, we picked up and obviously won that game. As you said, they were fighting their own battles. But yeah, we are missing him completely. You said about a striker. You were just saying then about can't get Slimani back because he's versatile on loan. One thing that Puel did have over on Rodgers a little bit was he looked down on the youth system. Obviously bringing in Childrey, bringing in Harvey Barnes. As I know now Barnes is playing a lot now, but I'm on about he gave him a chance to play at the start. And I was looking. I've said this quite a few times. Looking at a strike, using it for someone on the bench, someone to bring on. I've been saying this for a while in the under-23s. Is the striker of George Hurst. So I don't know if any of you has watched the under-23 games, but he does win a lot of headers. He does win the ball, and he actually does score quite a few goals. That'd be someone to put on the bench if we're a goal down or needing a goal as well.
Jamie, I want to bring you back in. Jamie, I want to ask you about leaders on the pitch. I struggle to see many leaders on the pitch. I see Casper, by the way, going mental 2 or 3 times in a game, which I'm not sure that's quite leadership at times, how he kicks off. I see people leading by example at times. Johnny Evans, we're just missing for me a midfield general. I know we've talked about it before, Jamie. What's your views on leadership on the pitch?
Well, I've never been okay with keepers being captains. They just don't. they're too far away from the play all the time to get the point over. You need someone like the old-fashioned centre half being right in the middle of the thick of it. Someone like Johnny Evans would be perfect for captaincy, or even when Wes Morgan was there.
He is a captain.
I think he's the club captain, so he comes on. Yeah. But when he's not on the pitch, though, he can't really do a lot about it.
Well, but Jamie,
like you need that leader.
Jamie, is that part of the situation that we've got a club captain who should be the captain, should be on the pitch, is the centre half, but never gets picked? So is that wrong that he is still, whatever you want to call it, club captain? Because it means by default then somebody else is given the captaincy, and that's Casper.
Well, yeah, it's right. Then really, they ought to be an official, like you say, he ought to be an official captain. Someone like Johnny Evans. I think Johnny Evans gets his point of view. He's been there, he's done it. He did it with Man U. He won a lot. I think he won the Premier League with Man U. He's won cups. He's won everything. He knows how the game's played. It should be him really, because you see him pointing and telling people where to go. I mean, if you rated Schmeichel and Chilwell and Ricardo last night a couple of times, he's telling them where to go. I think he'd be the best leader on the pitch. A centre half is always the best. Stevie Walsh was probably one of the best captains. You wouldn't mess with him, and it would put his points over. And I think Johnny Evans would be a perfect substitute for, instead of having Schmeichel, have Johnny Evans as captain. I think that'd be perfect.
Tony
More
Fish,
the leader on the park.
Yeah, I'm going to go to James now with this question. James, Tony Fish says, when Vardy stopped scoring, we've hardly won a game. A few people have been asking about Jamie Vardy. James, what is going on with Jamie Vardy? He's still joint top goal scorer, but what is going on?
No idea. I think everyone keeps mentioning the Norwich game. So in the last 12 games, we've got 12 points, which is the way, not what the fans want, to be honest. So he gets injured in the week, but in the press conference, there's no mention of it. And then yesterday, he was injured. Apparently, didn't even travel with his squad. But yeah, when he scores, we win. But when he's not scoring, he's got no confidence. We don't win. It's like the other game when he hit the post. November time, that had gone in, and we'd have gone on to win. So there's just little things like that are probably knocking his confidence. I think a few goals, and he'll start to be back to his best, but his confidence does look really low, and so does the rest of the team, if I'm honest.
Ross, what did the fans think last night when they heard Jamie Vardy wasn't part of the team? What was the view on the terrace?
Everyone was like, why is he not in the squad at all? And then obviously there was rumours, on the internet, social media these days, said he was injured and didn't travel. Some said he didn't travel at all. Some jokingly said they asked to babysit the child while she went out. But no, on that, that's something. But do you know what? Someone said it's Jamie because of the baby being born. It's the baby's fault that he's not been scoring.
No.
Instead, no. But I think they were taking the Mikhail one. But no, on a serious note, I think he done obviously with the child being born as well. Like that. But I think, well, yeah, you're right. When he doesn't score, I'm gonna sound like Michael Owen here. When you don't score, you don't win. On this occasion, so yeah, well, he needs that goal. I think once he gets that goal again, I think we'll start getting wins again for it. So I feel for him at the minute because I said again. You said if he'd have scored back in November, that goal would have gone in when he hit the post. But yeah, he always has a dip in form every season. The year we won the league.
Guys, we don't. Let's have a. Oh, sorry. This Franco says there's no service, guys. It's clear to see Vardy can't score if he gets no service from it, lads. What do you think to that? Have we changed our style of play? I thought with under Puel, Vardy had clearly stopped scoring. Whatever you want to say, why he had stopped scoring, I'm not going to say, but it clearly had switched off. Brendan Rodgers comes in and the tap is turned again with Jamie Vardy. Can Jamie Vardy turn a tap on and off, Jamie, or not? How can you go be on fire for 17 goals and then just
See, you and me feel a bit old school. I think we prefer the two up top, the big man, small man up top. And when we played it last week against Man City, he got a lot more service with another man up there. What he has been doing in the other games. I think we need to go back to the old-fashioned way of having two up top. If it means playing a 3-5-2 or 5-3-2, whatever how it looks, I think he needs the help. I mean, he's not getting any younger, and whether these injuries are because of his age now, if it is an injury, like they say, I don't know. I think we've got to go give him some help up top. And when Nacho played last week against Man City, we looked far better until he got injured, of course. He got punched in the head. But we looked far better last week when we had 2 up top. And I think that's what Vardy needs, an extra man up top, more than a number 10. I don't think he can do it nowadays as much as he used to be able to do.
Can I just come in here, Phil?
Sure.
Yeah.
Jamie's right. The one thing, if you play against a good striker, the one thing teams are going to do is cut his service off. And the midfield is losing battles week in, week out. And other teams have now stopped our midfield getting the ball to Vardy. So he's getting scraps and nothing from it. But again, when we changed our formation, he's getting the ball because teams are not thinking they're going to change their formation. So I think we need to get our fielders getting him the ball and not losing the battle in midfield anymore.
Yeah, and the final question I want to ask you guys, I know we've touched on it before, but it is this passing it around at the back game. I'm sorry to bring it up. I'm sorry, and Ross is reacting to it straight away. So Ross, you were on the terraces yesterday. I think it's great, Ross. We're passing it around at times, but when again in this 5 or 10 minutes when you're losing, what was your view, Ross, from the game?
I don't think Tuchel knows how to use a right foot, because every single time he was passing it, he was trying to get it onto his left foot. When you 1-0 down, you're meant to go forward, not go backwards. All the players are doing it. I mean, it was so frustrating. Everyone, I mean, I was there last night, and everyone was just like, come on, get it up and attack. Everyone's like egging them on to get forward, and then we're just like, no, we'll go back. It was like we were 2-0 up. You know, like when you're winning, you're just being comfortable as anything. It was kind of like that, and it frustrated me so much. It frustrated everybody, and everybody watching at home. It was frustrating to see. We're getting forward, and then we're just passing it back like no tomorrow.
Tom, what are your views on it, Tom?
I was going to say, talk about frustration yesterday. For me, the biggest one was Harvey Barnes. He's one-on-one with his man so many times. He does him, and he waited for the cross to come in the box. It's like watching Slup on the wing again for us. He's got the pace. He's got the trickery. There's no end product. Now, people are going to say you could throw the stats back in your face all you want about so many assists in the last few games. But for someone who's got all that pace and can burn a defender for fun, he can be half frustrating at time like last night where you're waiting to put a ball across the box, and we all know he can deliver those balls, but he cuts back inside, and it's like, I don't get why he cut him back inside, because you know what Norwich are going to do. They're going to try and fill that midfield area for anybody running onto it. Get it across the box. You got Nacho in there. Nacho is, for me, probably his goal to game ratio says it, a predator in the box. He's a dick off. He's a fox in the box. That's what he does at best. He's not going to score you loads of goals from the edge of the area or twist and turn. But what he will do is he'll poach those little tappings. And for me, we've got to do more with it than just, cut back inside.
Jamie, can I just mention to you, Harvey Barnes' end product yesterday was poor, generally. He had one shot right on the edge of the area that ended up about 20 foot near the
went for a throw, didn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't want to lay into a young lad again, but not great end product from Barnes yesterday.
No, as for him being called up, but there's rumours of him that he might get called up for England squad, but I can't see it. I really can't see it. Like you say, there's no end product. He goes down the wing, and then, like Tom says, the final ball is just nothing really.
It's not consistent. I think that's what you'd say.
It's very frustrating. Like the whole Leicester team at the minute, it's so frustrating. It's untrue. It really is.
I'm about to say as well, you said about 4-4-2. I think we should go back to the 4-4-2 with Vardy, because obviously Vardy's got the pace and he's not as tall. Someone as tall and strong, like he said then about we used to do it back in the day. Vardy used to do it with Nugent back in the Championship. He used to do it with David Nugent. But Nugent actually had pace as well. We did it with Steve Howard, Matty Fryatt. So I don't see why we can get you said another striker, but not a pacey striker, someone that's really strong in the end, and I don't know if anyone that's out there at the moment that can do that.
Mitrovic.
I've got a question.
Mitrovic, yeah.
Go on then, Tom.
If you're going to go 4-4-2, who plays in that midfield with him, did he then? Because that means you've got to drop either Tillemans, Pratt, Maddison out of that team. Because you can't put Maddison on the left. He doesn't do anything. He's not in any game. Any game we put him on the left, he doesn't do anything. So you've got to choose between who you're going to play in that midfield. That's for me why you stick to a 3-5-2. You can play those extra midfielders in there. You can leave Ndidi, who will cover the right back and left back position quite happily. It means whoever plays left wing back, Chilwell or Ricardo, right, then they've got the cover from Ndidi. It also leaves Tillemans and Maddison in the team trying to create something. And you get your 2 strikers in the team. That for me is how we got to go with the team we've got at the moment. I think you've got to go for a 3-5-2. I don't think they've got the players with the ability to play a 4-4-2 and be able to battle enough in midfield.
I don't think anybody plays 4-4-2 in the Premier League, hardly now. I don't imagine Brendan Rodgers will play 4-4-2 for us at any point, guys, to be fair. I think it will always be a more fluid. I think the 5 at the back, which is the 3 at the back, which we've set up, a 5-3-2, which is a 3-5-2, I think.
5-2.
Yeah, it's more progressive. But listen, guys, Jamie, you've got your show tomorrow. Give us a brief flavour of what you're expecting.
Looking forward to it again. I just wish there wouldn't be such a... It's going to be all VAR again completely, because I personally think that did change the game, that course of the game. As soon as that VAR was checked, you knew it was going to be handball. And our confidence went down and Norwich confidence went up. But I think it's going to be a lot to do with the VAR tomorrow. And also, I think just a poor run of form.
Good.
So come and join me tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock. With my cup of tea, not a beer this time.
And James, tomorrow you're doing the Kit Room show. Briefly, where do you think that's going to go? That's on premieres at 8 o'clock tomorrow.
So we've already recorded it, so it's all done, which is good news. We've worked out Chilwell's best position, which is just,
don't tell us what it is.
Changing room.
Yeah, don't tell us. Let people watch that.
I'll tell you, it's just sat behind Brendan Rodgers. So, and one thing we do pick up on is the passing ratio. So, our pass completion rate is around 83% yesterday. However, only
I bet I know which two.
Yeah, only 35% of the passes are in the attacking third.
Oh dear.
I bet I know who had the most.
Yeah, Evans again.
Yeah, I was going to say Sonke or Evans.
Yeah. So again, what we just touched on, the urgency, we touched on that in the show as well, around why 10 minutes to go, 1-0 down, and we're just passing the ball between the back four, playing piggy in the middle with their striker.
Yeah, it's easy football, to be fair, to be playing it round the back against a team who wants to defend a 1-0 lead. So that's tomorrow. We've got Jamie's show, the Foxes Aftermath show, live from the Foxes Arms at 10 a.m. UK time, 11 a.m. European time, God knows what time, American time. James and Neil do their Kit Room show, which is out tomorrow night at 8 p.m. So look forward to that. Myself and Tom and his pussy will be joining us on Monday night.
One thing we haven't mentioned is the ref last night, how poor Craig Pawson was.
Well,
all the refs have been poor.
Ross, I've got to be fair. I watched it on TV. I wasn't there. I'm a fair weather fan because I didn't finish work till 7 last night. But I thought the ref was okay last night.
Oh wow,
guys, go on then, Ross. Tell us why you thought he was so bad.
How Tim Krul didn't get booked for taking goal kicks longer than sure is beyond me. It was, in my opinion, the worst referee I've ever seen in recent times. He didn't help with the...
What, John Moss?
Go on, keep going, Ross.
It was just awful. It was so giving away, it was just giving so much decisions away for us, and it was just awful. It was so bad. I mean, the thing is, though, you're a referee. VAR is meant to stand for video assistant referee. So the key word there, assistant. Now, if the referee, if it's their job to referee and give the decisions, they go to the monitors and stuff, not just go like that. It's like you're going live on a TV show, or you're going live 3-2-1 and giving the decision. But don't take out that decision. It was absolutely shocking last night. Like everything, it was just awful. I tell you, I think he booked Schmeichel. I think towards the end, I can't remember. Towards it, we were all obviously booing the referee. It was just awful. My opinion is the worst referee I've ever seen in ages.
Well, Ross, that's fine. Again, us guys, I watched it on TV. I thought the ref was mediocre at best, but I didn't think he was awful. I thought the ref against us, Man City, was far worse, but I was at that game live, so perhaps it's just being live or watching it on the telly type of thing. Listen, guys, anyway, we're going to wrap it up now. thanks everybody for watching. Thanks everybody for joining us on the video. I'm going to read out the last few comments. So I'll see you guys soon.
See you later.
See you later. See you tomorrow. FA Cup midweek. Come on, Leicester.
So that's great. Join Jamie tomorrow morning. Let's get some of your final comments back up on screen here. Reasons to be cheerful, says Lee Marie. Thank you for that. We've got Birmingham next. Oh my God, that's one to watch like this, if I'm honest with you. Birmingham will come to us fancying their chances, if I'm honest with you, Lee Marie. But I'm still confident we can beat them and get into the last 8 at in the FA Cup. Andy says he watched it yesterday from behind the sofa. Kenny says, I felt there were a lot of pushes on our players that went unpunished, agreeing with Ross there and his comments. Mick says, let's do a straight swap, Justin for Chilwell. Adam says, VAR and negativity goes together. Play all Brighton in front of Chile as he tracks back. Ricardo on the right wing with Justin behind. That's an interesting one, Kenny. I do think Mark Albrighton would offer Ben Chilwell more protection at times. Thanks as ever to everybody who has been getting their comments in. Thanks as always to these guys who help us bring you the video content and get all the things in there, which is Emergency Glazing Vehicles, Bodie Hodges, which is our chosen charity, Pink Vehicle Leasing, Everard's Tiger Beer, ADT Taxis, Peter's Pizzas, Jamie from the Fox's Arms, the very own, and Hologram and Harlow Geek Life. Thanks to those guys. Thanks for all your comments. Keep the faith, lads. Birmingham next. Last day of the FA Cup. Don't think about tomorrow where we should have all been at Wembley. It's not that bad. We are 3rd in the Premier League. See you later.